That's gonna be fire. That's a
It's
future.
very religious in a sense how they do it. Yeah.
It's a cult. It's
It-
fucking. It's fucking like the dark underworld, demon
you know,
degenerate cult shit.
you know those videos of the white people like washing the feet of black people or whatever.
Oh
Oh
yeah, with
my god,
the
dude.
That
Israelites, the Hebrew guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me of like like that picture or whatever where that guy's like, as a cis black man, like I don't deserve anything but like a black woman to like do something or whatever. And it's like these people get like social points by like
Yeah.
disavowing their identity, and I think like
Yeah.
Zizek talks about this a little bit, and it's like it's almost like the person who's less oppressed really gets the best out of it by like disavowing themselves, like, oh, I'm just a white person, I can't, I'm nothing, it's like they almost get more pleasure out of it than,
Oh yeah.
like
It's
the
like
black
very
people
like
or whatever.
it's very like self flagellating, like when you like hit your back.
Flagellating, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm into that shit though. Like that shit's like
Very religious.
Yeah. It's literally secular fundamentalism. I mean, like if
yes,
you
exactly.
anyone who's grown up in a religious environment, like you can see like the
Look,
stark
there's. I'm looking at pictures of the Pope
contrast.
right now. I'm looking at pictures of the Pope right now washing black people's feet. Actually, trying to pull it up here.
But like the thing to these people, like they always talk about how they hate hoteps or whatever, or like very like classical pan Africanists. But I'm just like, what makes you any more different than them? You're literally espousing the same theories with just like with a
It's
more
just
a
branding.
queer angle. Yeah, I'm just like, you guys
Yeah.
literally just want a black queer ethno state. Like there's literally no difference between you and what Marcus Garvey is saying. It's to the point to like where their takes, they're literally like pro segregation. I'm just like, yo, like, can y'all just log off and like build a commune already? You know?
So
Yeah. Have you seen the like New York, NYU, like have segregated rooms or whatever?
Oh
They
yeah, I
just
read about
implemented
that.
segregated rooms. Yeah.
Uh, Socialist News, the World Socialist News, they were making fun of it.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's like
It-
it's like people in the civil rights fought for like decades to like
dude,
not
yeah,
it's
to like
so
desegregate
cringe.
people, and then now black people are doing the work of
it's like woke.
re-segregating
Yeah,
people.
woke segregation.
And it's like you'll sound like a conspiracy theorist if you try to like say like there really does look like there are some kind of like alternative motives to these kind of
Yeah.
things for like class power and
I mean,
neoliberalism.
people call me a reactionary for like, cause like for not being afraid to point that out, and I'm just like, what are we trying to achieve here? And like even the way these people talk about race, they literally, I can't tell if I'm in like 2020 or 1920s, cause like I'm just like I'm like I'm like the way
Bro,
they talk about race, they sound like a slave master. I'm like, you do realize that 200 years ago white dudes talked about race the same way that you guys have with like all these rigid abstract categorizations. They'd be like non-black proximity. I'm like, you might as well just
it's
start saying
so
like
dark,
quadroon
bro.
or mulatto or whatever.
Oh my god, I really want to bring back mulatto, bro. That's
I've
why
been
listen,
saying that.
I'm really into the colorism though. I really love I love shadism and I think that that's fascinating. And like
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a part of desensitizing race is that people are just going to have to like fucking embrace it and like just get more racist until like I like we just have to like
Accelerate it.
You
we
know,
have to we have to push it.
you know what? It's funny you bring that up because I was talking to someone on Twitter. I'm gonna find it now, and like I follow a lot of like I guess the more experimental theorists, you know, like all the people that like Nick Land and
We love experimental theory. We love
okay, so
experiment.
like this guy on Twitter, I'll say the tweet. This is my tweet, and then I'm gonna look at the reply. I said I find it super interesting how there's a side of radical Twitter that is straight up arguing for something along the lines of separate but equal ethno state. I said straight up segregation on the basis of non-black people being incapable of not being racist is fascinating. And then my friend, he responded, he's like very into like Nick Land. He said, this is the exact vanishing point where identity politics and neo-reactionary meet on the horseshoe theory, and I was just like, oh shit. Yeah, I was like, that makes sense. Because like, if you read like the newer Nick Land stuff or like Moldbug, like they straight up argue along the lines of that with like the race realism, the human biodiversity, like all that weird stuff.
Right. I just got into Moldbug actually like a week ago because I'm like in the rabbit hole right now. Like
Oh,
I
okay.
finally got my algorithm to like start giving me that good shit. You know what I'm saying?
On,
The
on
shit
Instagram or Twitter? There's a
on,
lot
on
of people.
YouTube. On YouTube, YouTube is
Oh,
what's infamous for the rabbit hole because that's where you get all the Jordan Peterson, all the fucking. That's where it just sucks you into a bunch of like theory,
yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
educational material. Like you just like sit and watch hours of this stuff. So I
I used to
eventually
get into that
I
last
eventually
month.
hit that Moldbug shit, and I'm like, this makes sense. I like
Yeah,
this should
I mean,
sound good.
it does, and like people, they're so scared to engage with it because, like, I guess to me, I don't really think Moldbug is all right in the sense people make him, but more or less, he's just like a
I mean, he's
stoic who
right.
doesn't care about what's going on, and like a lot of ideas he talks about in terms of patchwork, it makes sense because like sci-fi authors, they predicted this very form of like private corporations usurping government and taking over. Like they predicted that, and basically Moldbug is theorizing that, hey, democracy is pretty much becoming irrelevant and crumbling, and like private tech organizations like Facebook or whatever, they're essentially controlling how we think and vote through the algorithm. And that's like an empirical truth. You see it with Facebook and like the Cambridge Analytica, and like how we're pretty much like controlled by the algorithm, and even down to like how leftists are. Like the fact that these people act like this, I'm just like, yo, your whole personality comes from an algorithm, but they don't like see it like that.
Bro, I can't believe you're saying that, bro, because I was just thinking about that shit. These people, like, it's like an algorithmic identity, bro. It's like they just totally embrace it. I was just like, that's really why I started shit posting. I was like, yo, I only started shit posting like a month ago, and I was like, yo,
Oh wow.
if I acted like how the app acts, if I like embrace the algorithm, people would like start calling the cops on me, and like they'll like they'll like try to put me into a hospital, and like that's what happened. Like people are like, "Yo, is Trevor okay? Like, what the fuck happened?" And I'm like, "No,
Oh
nigga,
yeah, definitely.
I'm."
Even when you follow me and I was looking at your post, I was just like, yo, like is this person like all right, serious, or they
You
just
thought I
like,
wasn't well. You thought
no, I didn't think you were crazy. I kind of like figured you were like shit posting because it had like a 4chan vibe, and I was like, okay, I see what's going, especially like the way when you post like a lot of like white boys, it's like in
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
it's like a very like subversive way. And then when I saw you posted the hat, nigga, you in trouble, with like the Trump vibe, I was like, oh wait, I get it. This is like almost,
dialectics, bro.
yeah, it's almost like it's very, to me, I translate it as like being like very dirtbag left, I guess.
It's a new black dirtbag left is what I'm
Pawns and
trying to
Trump.
brand it.
It's funny you say that because I've been saying this for about a month. I said there's literally a black side of the anti-woke left that's kind of forming. I'm seeing a lot of them on Twitter, and I follow some of them. I'll have to send you the profiles, and like one of them.
Yes, bro. Listen, we need to organize a conference. We need to organize the Black Dirtbag Left conference.
Brianna Joy Gray.
We need
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
Yes, she needs to be
She's
there.
great.
one of,
She's great.
yeah, she's one. Obviously, like Adolf Reed, he's like the
Oh, Adolf
godfather.
Reed is the legend. He is the
Yeah,
legend of this right now.
there's another
Yeah.
guy I follow. He's a little bit younger than me, and he literally goes to, I believe, like MIT or Harvard. He's a black guy, and he's smart. He's like kind of anti-woke black dude. I have to send you his
I want.
profile.
I also want Rachel Dolezal.
That would be kind of based.
I want
Like,
Candace
She's part.
Owens.
She's part of the anti-woke black left.
Oh, but they need to be left. I'm
yeah.
tripping. I'm tripping.
I feel like what's it, John McMortar? To me, he's anti-woke. He's the one that like he wrote that New York Times review saying that white fragility was trash. Like, and he called it like a religious book. He was just like, he said this couldn't even help solve racism because he's just like, it's basically just telling white managerial people to like rehearse these lines over and
Right,
over
it's a
again.
script. It's a fucking play, bro. This shit is like
Another classic anti-woke black person I would consider is CLR James. Like, he beefed with a lot of like Afro pessimists back in the day. Cause CLR
right.
James, he's a pretty hardcore like Marxist materialist. Like, and he was pretty open about engaging with like continental European literature. I would even consider Fanon. To me, pretty
Oh
much
yeah.
like all of the black Marxists, in my opinion, I would consider like kind of like anti woke. To be honest, in my honest opinion, I don't think that like identity politics is fundamentally compatible with like a Marxist analysis. I kind of lean into a more orthodox Marxist approach, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Yeah, I think you just fucking
No,
read the
and
text.
yeah.
I think you don't fucking
And it's also different because like today's like today's identity politics and like how it's been shaped by neoliberalism is so like contextual, like in its history and like
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
in the time of right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like back whenever there was like CLR James and shit like that. I mean, it was just like a
yeah.
different time too.
They didn't
You
have
know,
Twitter where you could just like yell at
yeah,
people.
and it's just like the identity politics is like a completely different thing because like a lot of that shit was like pre-civil rights,
Yeah, yeah.
1930s and shit like that. Then like the 1960s, like kind of cultural revolution shit.
Even
That really changed a
WEB,
lot of shit.
even W.E.B. Du Bois, I would consider him pretty hardcore materialist. Even though he like was definitely like obviously like with the essay Marx and the Negro problem, like even with that he was like posing them questions back then. But like that guy's like super hardcore materialist. And the
Oh
crazy
yeah,
thing about it, he came to those conclusions before he even engaged with Marxist literature, which I find interesting because like you always have like if you look at like all the prominent black civil rights leaders, they actually came to a similar material analysis without engaging like specifically Martin Luther King, Malcolm X towards the end of his life. If you look at like their trajectory and how they like kind of shift into a more internationalist or maybe class-based approach, it's scary. But I don't know, like how many times do black people niggas gotta get killed for niggas to like realize maybe this
yeah.
is like they had a point. Like the fact that we got people on Twitter arguing in like a very regressive mode. I'm like, did y'all not pay attention to like what these dudes were trying to say?
and it's so funny because like the Malcolm X story is so significant, and it's kind of like your story, which is like with Malcolm X, it's like which I didn't know about this till recently. Like I read about like how he got killed was because he was part of like the black nationalist kind of shit at first or whatever,
Yeah,
and he started to separate himself from that, and like there was some experience that he had or whatever that like made him change his mind or whatever about like it's more
yeah.
materialist stance versus his kind of more identity politics stance. And then I didn't know this, but supposedly the black nationalist type people got him killed. Like there's a lot of evidence that like
Elijah.
that they're the reasons for why he got
Yeah, I
killed or
believe
whatever.
it.
And then it's like that kind of reminds me of today's time, which is like black people in the identity politics thing will kind of get together and like attack other people of color, you know what I'm saying?
It's
If
happening
they
to
don't
me.
fit in their kind of exact race essentialist. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah, it's
exactly. Kind
very
of like a
like
Twitter
rigid.
version of an assassination. Yeah,
That's
character
pretty much
assassination.
it. I mean, these people they've
Yep.
been after me for almost 6 years, and like
Wow.
it's like every couple of months I always expect it because they will like pop up on Instagram or whatever under a new name, and I'm just like, and like over time I've like figured out how to like I guess counter them, but of course they're not going to listen anyway because they just kind of like repeat the same thing. But I figured out how to kind of like navigate um their arguments. You probably saw like one of them write a really long post on my when I made my post about anti-Semitism. They wrote like a very like long comment, and they basically said they accused me of gaslighting black people. Okay, first of all, like what does gaslighting even mean anymore? I literally like don't know what
Yeah,
it means.
boo.
And then it was just like it was like you're gas. It was like you're gaslighting black people using a quote of some black liberation fighter from the '60s to talk about white Jewish people or whatever, and then like they just kept going on this diatribe, and it was just like black women, and then black trans women, then black non-binary people, and then cishet black men. They always conditional oppression. You have like non-black proximity, blah blah blah. It's just like talking in circles, and then
Listen,
I
their
can't.
the whole discourse and all of their rhetoric is like it is just identity. Like they don't actually say anything anymore. They just list out a bunch of different intersections of identity and then they like expect you to like derive meaning from that. I'm like, nigga, what are you even talking about?
Yeah, like this
Bro, like
niggas be bugging out, yo. Niggas is
they're
crazy.
they're tweaking off of pills and shit and like
I
off
mean,
the algorithm, bro.
I
Identity
mean,
pill.
we can keep it 100. I mean, you gotta be honest. Like most of these people probably depressed and
They're
just
on
like lost.
drugs, nigga.
Yeah,
My
they be like,
question is,
I
I've never met a single one of these people. It's like I've never met a passionate Biden supporter. Like I don't know who these people are coming out in fucking numbers doing this shit. I've never met these
I've met
people.
one of them in real life, and
How
because
are
I
they
used to,
like? Do they?
so like
I would think they're like very white culturally. You know what
oh
I'm saying?
yeah
That they
yeah
they
okay
grew up.
yo
They're
yo I can break
complicated.
that down perfectly. Like
It's an
let me break this
entanglement.
down. So like
Break it down.
okay, I'll tell you. One time I met one of them. I ran into them. I was in New York City. I was at a museum with my white friend. She's a white Ashkenazi Jewish woman. She took me to the museum because she had
Oh my
like
god, bro, I'm getting
she had like
triggered.
she had like
I'm
a
getting
free
triggered.
she had a free pass because I guess she used to work in press or whatever. And like she took me to the museum. We're just chilling, and like one of them I guess worked at the museum, and it was just like, "What's up, Aloyso?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" It's just like this very meek black person, and they were like so nice to me. And then the moment we left, I opened my phone and checked Twitter, and they started like subtweeting me, and it was just like, yeah, this coon Aloyso, of course he would be out here with a white woman, a non-black woman,
Oh
these
my
these these
god.
cis men and their proximity to whiteness in the art world, they're
Oh
overseers,
no.
always will colonize. I'm just like, yo, dude, this is like literally my friend. Like, why are
Yo,
you?
they want to, and that's the funny thing is that's why I post a lot of fucking of the white people is because like
Yeah,
people bug out with the
I
white
do the same. I do the
body.
same thing. You see me. I'm like, I literally like openly flirt with like
Bro,
non-black
it's
people. I
race
don't
mixing is
care.
communism, bro. That's it. That's all it is, bro. Like, people and like eventually, there's gonna be enough race mixing where that shit's gonna like, you know what I'm saying? Like, statistically, people are gonna mix race. Like,
Yeah,
you're not gonna
America.
win that fight. You're like, that's a losing fight.
This country's gonna be so brown by 2040. Like,
Oh, dude, and
I
that
mean,
shit's not.
I guess to them, it's their way of, I guess, trying to preserve the black race. But I don't know. I
It's
just
literally
find that,
conservative. Yeah, it's a
yeah,
right wing. It's
I find that very dated. It reminds me of like Garvey and Booker T. Washington.
That's why I like Mulbug because he talks about like this weird perversion of the right and the left, and like these people that are like race essentialists and like that's more conservative to me. Like they're more like adhering to like a religious practice of like
Oh
conservative
yeah,
and like
they should just like convert to like Orthodox Judaism. They should become like
that's what I'm
Ha-
saying.
Hasidic Jews, yo. Like I mean, and Hasidic Jews, they will take black people. You can, they don't like
I
you.
love
This
Jewish
plenty,
people, bro. Oh my
yeah. This like
god.
they will
Uncut
like you can
gems.
literally like yeah,
Except
you can literally
yeah,
like
fuck that movie.
convert. They don't
Black
care.
Jews.
Like yeah, like they don't care. This
Yeah,
rapper did.
we should convert to Judaism. That sounds like a good idea.
No, that is 100% by this time next year, I'm gonna be Jewish. I don't give a fuck, bro. And I'm going to Birthright. Going to
I mean,
Birthright, I'm doing the tour, and
Sammy Davis Jr. converted to Judaism. They called him a coon and everything, and like the
I'm gonna
community
get
accepted
coon.
him
I'm
with
getting
open
coon
arms.
tattooed on my fucking forehead.
That's another thing. They call everybody a coon. I'm
Oh,
just like,
what is
yo,
up with the censoring? Can we talk about this really quick?
I
Why
think
is
because
it?
so people can't search and like harass them on the algorithm. And they also
Are
say
you?
that when
Oh my
they say
god,
that when they're going to kill you or die, like when they say kill or die, they'll like censor it so the algorithm doesn't catch it.
that is disgusting behavior, bro. That's
I've seen
terrorism.
people censor.
That's
I've
terrorism.
seen people censor words like for no reason. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
My whole
Like in
thing is
text
like,
messages and shit.
if you're gonna say it, just say it. Like, commit to it. Like, y'all got so much smoke for everybody else, but then you can't even commit to cussing like a real nigga. Like, you know, like
You can't even speak freely, nigga. Like that's how you know you're twisted. Like you're so tense in your
Your
spine.
your
and shit.
mind is enslaved by
I call it.
neoliberalism.
I literally call it. I call it self-imposed Jim Crow. To me, it's a self-imposed Jim Crow because, like, yeah, okay, black people, yeah, we're still oppressed, but like, if you look at the relative amount of autonomy that we have compared to like what 300 years ago, it's just like you can walk across the railroad track. Like nobody's not going to lynch you for walking to the
Yeah.
grocery store. Like, you know, like you can. It's like this weird
Yo,
self-imposed.
Cornell West talks about like the modern or the contemporary black person, the struggle being a constant fight against self niggerization, and I think that that's a part of it.
Wow.
And like that, like just the like self stereotyping and like also like identity politics, like trauma baiting yourself, like trigger baiting yourself. That's a I think that
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I think that that's a huge part of it. Is that yeah, people are like they're not panic attacks; they're self-induced panic.
And
You know
like,
what
by
I'm
the
saying?
way, what Cornell West, he just like I just read something today that he is urging everyone to vote for Joe Biden.
Oh yeah,
And you know, like him, he said like, "Oh, I'm joining other black thought leaders like me and Angela Davis and like some other people or whatever."
yeah.
And
At the end of the day, he's a sensationalist. You know,
I
like, at the
know,
end of the
and
day,
then
he's a
guess
character.
what? Who out of all these people got hella money? Him and Angela Davis. They do very well in academia, and they get paid pretty
Yeah,
well.
I mean, in some ways, they're like grifters, you know.
They're
Whatever.
grifting hard. They're left grifting, and I'm like, I want to put my whole career on that shit, dude. Like I'm down, bro.
Definitely.
I'm sold, bro. Let me grift in peace, bro.
Yeah,
and
right.
Grift.
Like if
That's
this
why
is how
that's
easy it is to make money, fuck it. Let's just start doing that.
yeah. I mean, like if social justice warriors can do it, I mean, what? I mean, there's no
What
difference
the
between
fuck?
that and just like people who critique the left. That's why I finally like understand like Anna Kashian and whatnot. 'Cause it's weird. My friend put me onto Anna. So this is what's crazy. Like I used to hate her. I would see her tweets on the feed,
She's
and then
obnoxious, bro. She
my
has a bad attitude.
my friend
Who is
Kristen
this?
Anna Kashian from Red Scare.
Oh, Anna. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so like I used to hate her, and then my good friend Kristen from Montreal, she's like super super smart scholar. She runs the account called Rip Anna, rest in peace Anna Nicole Smith. She was just like Aloyso. She was like
Nice.
she was just like Aloyso, like slow down. She was just like I remember one day she was like Aloyso, I don't know why you hate her because you basically making the same points as her, just utilizing
Yeah, you
a
guys have
different
very similar
cultural approach.
politics.
A different cultural approach. And so I started like paying attention more and I was like, damn, that makes sense. And then I just became a fan. I was listening to the podcast and then this is how I actually became friends with her. She said something in Spike magazine. It's like this Spike magazine. It used to be a communist magazine, then they slowly shifted into like being libertarian. It's like this UK British magazine. And like she said something about comparing slavery to serfdom in Russia, and I was just like, Anna, I was like, there's a reason why they call it slavery, not serfdom. I was like, this shit is like not negotiable. And like when I was challenging her, she like slid in my DMs or whatever, and we started chatting, and then like boom, and then I started like yeah, and then I started tweeting at like Dasha, and like even Dasha was like messaging me. Yeah, this was like early last year, so I was just like, oh okay.
No shit.
I guess I got pulled into that side of the left, like accidentally. So I'm like, hey, whatever.
So you got knighted.
Ask them
you got
to come,
knighted
ask
right
if you
there,
come
bro.
on their pod.
I've been like emailing them. I have to like message them again.
Wow.
Yeah, we gotta bait them. Obviously, you gotta like the first time they only, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to trigger them clearly.
Yeah.
That's how you got her attention the first time.
Wow.
All right, Anna, if you're listening, bring
or
bring
Dasha.
Or Dasha, hello, bring him on. He's ready to talk. Get out of the
Dasha,
DM.
Dasha, you literally have my phone number. Like, come
You
on.
literally text them,
Wow.
stop playing.
Yeah.
This could be us, but you playing, girl. God damn. Why these hoes keep playing, bro?
Yo, don't it be like that on the gram in the inbox? It be like
Just acting stupid in the inbox. Get on the Discord call and
Acting
like let's
stupid.
get into the Discord so that we can talk this shit out, dog. I'm trying to arrange flights, dog. I'm trying to
I'm trying to come see you, baby
for
girl.
real.
Okay, all right, we're kidding, dude. Don't fucking.
Yo, who do speaking of like, cause I see you always post like your Venmo.
Yeah,
Do people send you money like pretty consistently?
it's not consistent at all, but and like I'm very I'm trying to be sensitive about donation fatigue
Yeah.
because
Oh
that is
yeah, for
real.
sure.
I don't want to bombard my friends to support me, because that is a large part of the support are like my friends that actually fuck with my work, and
Yeah,
I support
yeah.
them when I can. Like I buy my friends shirts, I like smoke my friends out and I get like so they can like help me shit post,
Yeah, I feel that.
But then I also like strangers really like will really fuck with the work, like they see it they see more like I also post a lot of my stories and like sometimes that gets complicated and I think people actually appreciate it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I get some donations. I've been like low key living off of Instagram donations.
No,
So
you
I'm
guys need to make a Patreon, and like you guys
Yeah,
both need a
I'm
Patreon.
actually shifting into that because like on my page, yo, people be like, I ain't gonna lie, like yo, people be sending me pretty
it
handsome
happens,
donations.
bro.
Yeah, and the thing about it, when I get them,
I
it's
need to
not
get
like
over on
I'm
Twitter.
begging.
I mean Instagram.
I think it's just the timing, really. Like people be sending
Yeah.
me bread, like
Yeah, there
I ain't
was a
even
huge
black.
boom, and there has been a huge boom for Black people online. Like, it's because like I've always been against like I always hated when like queer and like broke trans people, like homeless, like trans youth, like put their like pity pieces on Instagram. Because I'm just like, damn, this is so dystopian and dark. Like I understand it, but it triggers the fuck out of me, and I never thought that
Yeah,
I would like
yeah.
succumb to something even similar to that.
I
But
feel
at this
that.
point, since George Floyd and since like the absurdity of like white people online, I was like, oh no, I need to clearly there's something to this taking up more space shit that I need to like actually be a part of. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause,
Yo, like straight up during when the uprisings first started, yo, I straight up made like a whole stack.
I
Like
made a
in one
God
day. Like
damn.
white people was like I made that in like 3 days. Like white
in
people just
3 days, bro.
Have you
yeah,
got
like
any pussy like that? Like,
Oh my
yo,
God.
you support Black
oh,
Lives Matter?
of course. I mean, like
Hell yeah.
there's always like people in my inbox like trying
No
to.
way.
And the funny thing is, my haters they're gonna listen to this part and like and post. I really don't care. Why they're gonna take a
that
clip.
meme where it was like black, like, or like men are going around acting progressive online to get women.
Definitely. I mean,
Oh
that
my
happens in my
God,
inbox.
that shit was funny as fuck.
Like people will pretend to like be into a theory or whatever, or even just look like. I remember this one chick was straight up sending me videos of her at a march, and I'm just like, okay, cool. And she was just like doing the bare minimum, and then eventually, I guess she just unfollowed me. Cause I mean, she wasn't even like trying to have no convos. I'm just like, okay, like you're at a march, that's cool. Like, why are you sending me this video? I mean, do you want me to give you like some pity?
She specifically just sent you this video. That's fucking
Yeah, there's some chick in LA.
Oh shit.
Do you ever get any celebs following you on Instagram?
I'm in a couple group chats with like some random like white indie nerdy fucking niche ass musicians and shit. I love them though. If they listen to this, I love you guys. I have no
Can they
idea like
tell them to add me to the chat? I'm not in any group
oh,
chat.
I'll add you to the. I've been actually meaning to ask you that. Actually, I'll add you to the chat. They actually fuck
Okay.
with your post a lot. Like we talk about your post in the group chat.
Oh, a few actors actually follow me on
Oh, bro.
Instagram.
Are
Yeah.
we allowed to dox them? Let's not. They're all
No,
anonymous.
I mean, I don't
Don't
know. I
dox
don't
them.
wanna, like
Don't dox them, bro.
they're cool though. Like they're not. They're just
I
like
mean, it's
really
public,
chill.
isn't it? Who follows people?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
but a lot of
like.
these, a lot of the
I,
actors that follow me, they're like meme accounts, and it's not their actual identity.
yeah, I would just say though. I mean, I have like actual actors But I would just say like a lot of these actors, they're really smart. Like they're like socialists and
Right.
whatnot. I even have like some pretty big musicians following me, and then recently Azalea Banks.
What
She
the fuck
No
followed.
is
shit.
what is that about, dude? Can you
I
please
don't
explain
know.
what the
She's
Azalea Banks fucks too?
yeah, and then like I mean,
No way.
she's really nice. I was messaging her
See, now that's
earlier
a level
today.
of clout right there. That is respectable.
you
I
gotta
guess it
collab
makes
with collab with Azalea in the next 5 years, bro.
Yeah, you gotta.
oh for sure. Hey yo, Azalea, if you listening to this, I'm gonna come to your crib in LA. I know you're gonna listen to this podcast. Like, make me a smoothie or whatever, because I know you was talking about them green drinks.
Oh my god, I love a good green drink, dog.
I love a green drink as well.
But you know what? It makes sense that she will follow, cause like
She needs to do a traditional
She's into that
podcast
kind of shit.
also.
You know, she came on Red Scare Pod, I'm pretty sure.
she was on what's Truanon.
Oh yeah, and Truanon. Or yeah, no, Truanon, not Red Scare. Red Truanon, yeah.
I mean, but she's always been like very political though. Like the way she critiques culture.
Yeah, she's dope.
It's like a Susan
She's
Sontag
also a
kind of
Biden supporter, fucking psychopath.
No way, really.
Yeah, she's a Kamala supporter. She's no. She's exclusively a Kamala supporter. She's not a Biden supporter.
I don't know much
idiot.
about her, I guess.
She's
thought
fucking
she was...
batshit crazy. That's all you need to know. But she's gonna.
I know she's crazy. That's
She
why
maybe
I thought she was
Kamala,
cool.
maybe Kamala could like usher in something to offset the Antichrist or something. You never know, like to offset like the evil white reptilian global cabal.
Are you telling me
elite.
she's not an evil reptilian?
I mean, she's a black woman. How can she be?
Okay, there's something to this. There's something to this. There's something to this. Because there's something to this because I think fuck, bro. But
I mean,
listen,
I think all these politicians are made in a fucking lab, honestly.
Oh yeah,
All of them.
fuck us, bro. We do know that Trump is gonna win, right? Can we just make that prediction? Can we just confirm that prediction right now for everyone?
I was almost positive he was going to win whenever it was announced that Joe Biden was, or that Bernie dropped out or whatever. And then the coronavirus shit happened, and then, or like it became.
There's
more
already
and
a
more
vaccine, bro. There's already a vaccine.
yeah.
No. But what I'm saying is,
Biden
that
though, like
fucked Trump. That's going to make his
Biden,
favorability rates go down.
He's winning people over right now because like he's still piggybacking off of like trying to save Obamacare, and then with that combined with the pandemic, I don't know. Maybe he could like.
Biden
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Biden and Kamala are such fuck ups.
I think if it wasn't for the pandemic, then Trump would have been an easy win.
Right? Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is that it's just made it a complicated win, but still definitively a win. Like I don't see him not winning because like
I still think he might win. Yeah, but
I'm pretty sure Trump is gonna win. I'm like
because it's just literally like the Democrats have literally refused. They just absolutely refuse to say anything about the material needs of the majority of the fucking population. And
it's just as bad as these militant psycho black people on Twitter. Like it's just as like, caught up in identity as them.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
they're so weird.
We don't give you Medicare for all, but we'll give you a black VP.
Yeah,
no Medicare for all.
They're like convinced that every white person is like an imperialist colonizing, and I'm just like, that's not even true on a historical level. I'm just like, yo, there were people in France arguing for the abolition of slavery like for a very long time. Like, I think because like they ascribe a lot of like humanism as to being this Eurocentric thing, and it's just like, no, like you can the problem is when you get so obsessed with identity, anything that's like not African on an aesthetic level is not legit, which is weird because the
that
Black
makes me
Panther
think of
Party.
Beyonce.
Yeah, the Black Panther Party. Remember, they actually talked about that when like what's his name? It was Huey P. He said basically you have like pork chop nationalism, and then you have it was like another form of, he said like revolutionary nationalism, and he said basically like pork chop nationalism is when like black people, they're so obsessed with wearing like kente cloth or whatever, and or have like flying like a Pan-African flag. They'd be like, oh yeah, I'm like pro-black. Whereas he said like revolutionary nationalism is more like a dialectical or like was it socialist science or whatever, where you look at like the material needs of a class, which makes sense because like my
It makes
problem
perfect sense, bro. Like in 2020, if you don't understand that, it's because you're
yeah
choosing not to. It's because like you need to get off them pills. You need to stop sucking all the white dick and like you need to
Get
stop
off those
grinding.
pills.
You need to get off them pills, get off a grinder and Tinder.
Pharmaceutical industrial
and that's
complex.
the
Yeah.
funny thing, like even with like the woke grifters, if you ever notice like all of the black feminist women on Twitter with blue checks, they tweet so much crap about black men every day, but I'm just like, at the end of the day, you're laying in a bed with a white dude, and I feel like they
You are
do
eating a
that.
white man's ass, bro. It's 2020.
Yeah,
Like
I'll be like, I think they do that to like overcompensate. It's just like I don't really get that. Like their whole personality is that, and just because like a black dude or whatever in fifth grade called them ugly on the playground, so they made that their entire personality trait. They seek revenge.
and here's the thing. And here's the thing. A lot of
That-
these people are artists and they funnel that and like the art institutions support that shit. They fuck with that
Yeah.
Oh,
shit.
the art
It's
institution is super neoliberal, and it's like,
I mean,
look,
why do you
like
think
why I think
insecurity?
it's an art thing is because, and why neoliberal identity politics is such a problem in America is because like
Yeah,
America culturally is super obsessed with symbolism, and like how
yeah,
Hollywood and like Adorno and like the like he talked about the culture industry, like culture and TV shows, and like we're so obsessed with symbols like on the screen, and it's like that's why I think it's so easy for like America to be like a lot of
yeah.
shit is appropriated by identity politics because it's all
A
about
society of
symbolism
the
instead of like
spectacle.
actually saving people's lives, like actually saving black people's lives, with Medicare for all, or like, or just giving black people a vice
Yeah,
president, or a
and
president. It's like the symbolism
and you
dichotomy.
know what's the most recent thing that kind of proves that is like how we I guess like export or talk about race on music and other cultures.
Mm-hmm.
And so a pretty good recent example is with Adele, how she was wearing that Jamaican
oh
Oh
my
yeah.
jean
god.
top, and like she had the bantu knots, and then she was at um Notting Hill Carnival, and I'm just like, how we talk about race in America, it don't necessarily, you can't like project that onto the UK because like first of all,
That's
like
so
the
true.
UK, they always had like a long history of a more unified class struggle because like brown and black people and even like poor white people, they have like closer proximity, and you could see that kind of like shared commonality of culture through music. Like if you look at like jungle or UK garage, like all that stuff, or even grime, you ever notice how it's so natural to see like a white guy on a grime song just spitting, like you never think about it because the way that like they're, I guess like the racial makeup and like class culture is so fundamentally different from America, where like this entire country, it was like literally built on the division of race. So like how we think about race is way different than
Right,
what
right,
like
right.
a black
African
person.
Americans, like African
Yeah,
American culture is like super different from just like African or like the rest of the world kind of culture. And I noticed that a long time growing up with like half my family is black. And like,
yeah,
you know, like pretty, like very, I was very young. I noticed it very quick. Like, when you learn about slavery or whatever, and then it's like, well, this is a white Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And I was about to get on like my hot app shit or like my like black nationalist shit or whatever, or like
Lamar Johnson, yo.
yeah, no, but like no, but then it's like, and then it's like, well, these people have the religion and everything, and like the way they think about race is all given to them by slavery and by America. And it's like just seeing that in my own family was really something for me. And that's why like I've been interested in this for like, years,
Yeah,
ever
yeah,
since, just seeing that shit. And I think like a lot of people, and especially a lot of atheists, like, or not atheists, but just people who are kind of, a lot of younger people are kind of they're not really believing in religion or whatever. And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
another thing of why I see, and I think that's super true what you were talking about earlier, with there's like a rise of black anti-woke movement, you know what I'm saying? Of people
It
that
makes
are kind of
you tired.
against
Like
it.
you just, yeah. I mean, I've been seeing this stuff going for 6 years, and these people haven't really develop their theories or anything. I'm just like, man, this is really just a cult, like a aesthetic thing.
Right.
And I
Like
would argue that if you grew up in a religious background, that you can kind of see where like some of this stuff it kind of goes too far because even like within religion there's a shared universality of like humanity where you have to like look past race. In some ways I would say God is a class reductionist, like because
Right.
in like religion race it don't even exist in religion. Like what is race? Like it don't even exist.
Like
Like
everyone's
Abraham,
equal.
yeah, so
Especially
like
Christianity is very like socialist in that sense. It's like, like
yeah
a rich man, it's harder for a rich man to get into heaven than a camel through an eye of a needle or whatever.
yeah
Certain
yeah
shit like that.
it's almost like an absence of liberation theology. Like people like Cornel West or whatever, they're becoming extinct. Like for that whole generation of like black civil rights leaders who come from I guess like fundamentalist Christian background.
Oh
That's
no,
pretty much
dude, yeah, a lot of
disappearing.
political people come from like preachings, like
Well, here's the
skills and
thing.
shit.
I
They have
think
preaching skills. That's why they're good like public speakers and
Yeah,
shit like that. And
I
like
it's
think
all
Cornel West,
connected.
and I think it's good to an extent, but I feel like a lot of times I feel like certain religion can be bad, especially like I come from like southern black people, and like you see these big ass expensive churches or whatever, and then
Yeah,
when you
mega
see
church.
their homes, they're giving money to a church and they don't really have that much money, and like so I don't know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I have
yeah.
mixed feelings about it. You know what I'm saying? The kind of liberation theology
Which,
shit,
which
but
you
it
know,
can be
but
useful, I think.
mega church culture, it was a natural reaction when the black church started removing itself from I guess just like social movements. That's kind of like the natural evolution of like you're going to get like that capitalist mega church culture because it's like so far
that is so
removed
true. So true.
from like trying to help people in terms of like community wide efforts or whatever. And you see guys like that late capitalists like, hey, we can like make money off this. Just
And look,
go.
and we see the perversion in that community. Like we see so many pastors and like even in the
Yeah,
like we see it in the entertainment industry with fucking R. Kelly and shit. Like he is a gospel musician and
yeah,
like who's like he's like the mega church like uh black entertainment gospel leader for a while. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he dominated that space before all of this
yeah.
shit. And
I
then like
remember that.
and then we see capitalism like totally destroy him. I think like a lot of that shit is capitalistic. Like it's like the there is like a weird sex trafficking element to it, but like
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
overall umbrella is like if he didn't have the money to do that shit, he wouldn't be doing, or like if he didn't like have like the class trauma or whatever. And then
yeah, yeah,
we see that same sort of phenomenon with Kanye West, I think. And it's
yeah.
like
Because even with like Kanye. I think I guess we could kind of like go back to essentialism with Kanye. To be honest, when you don't have enough black people around you telling you no,
oh
then
wait,
that's
hold on, hold on. Wait,
all
hold
right.
on. Someone's mic is fucked up.
Is it
Oh,
mine?
here, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna kick him.
Okay.
It happens sometimes, and then he'll just come back.
I'm literally on the headset right now,
I know,
so
yeah,
like,
we're making it work, bro. We're this is, but I'm having a good time doing it, and
yeah, yeah,
he'll hop right back in here. But yeah, dude, Kanye West and fucking this gospel shit. It, I think it's powerful and I think it's effective. Like, but it's like
yeah.
there is
The
this
time,
weird the timing. Also, look, just like we've never seen some shit like that before.
I mean, in a way though, I guess if you're a real Kanye fan, this wouldn't surprise you at all. Cause I mean, that was one of
Right?
his.
No, it doesn't surprise me. I'm just like, but it is
Yeah,
like it is new. Like the level of
yeah.
I don't know. I
I
think it
guess
is something new.
he trying to like go all the way with it. Cause I mean that whole like kind of like Jesus stuff was always there from his first records. Jesus Walks or whatever kind of stuff.
I'm gonna tell right now, your mic is fucked up. This is so depressing, dude. Oh no, bro. Nah, it's fine. I think he'll figure it out, but
Okay.
I just have no way to help him. Your mic is fucked. I don't know. And so what it's gonna be fine because the way that Discord
Yeah.
records stuff is that we can it's a multi-track, so it's gonna give us 3 different tracks. So we can just ignore it, I guess. But can you hear it still or not really?
I can't hear the feedback. No.
Yeah, I think he muted himself. Good job, dude. If you can still hear us.
You check the chat if he said it.
Can you hear me at all? No, we cannot. And it's doing some weird feedback loop, white noise sort of thing. It's happened before, and I just kicked you, and then when you came back, it was fixed. So I don't know if you want to power cycle your mic or something, or yeah, it's still happening.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I'm gonna kick you, bro. I'm gonna kick you out the fucking server. And then, oh well, that's depressing. I don't think that. Well, how long have we been recording? Even has anyone been keeping track of that? We started at 7:30. We've been going for an hour.
Damn.
We could, that is a full episode. We could call it a night, and come back maybe sometime next week or later in the month or something.
That's fine. Yeah.
Leave the people wanting more. I mean, we could talk for hours, but
yeah. I feel like this is a lot of material that if people will be like, whoa.
Yeah,
this is like the first time I've actually kind of laid those ideas down. So this is like pure chaos.
We are not giving any more fucks. I will say that because we've run out of time. Like I think especially like in this point in our careers, we're seeing the market totally fucking collapse and like fail over. Like there's this meme that's like, why are you voting for Kamala Biden? Capitalism is literally falling apart as we speak, and it's like the Madagascar animals. Have you seen that shit? It's like the electoral process is literally collapsing as we speak. Like, and it's like, yeah, bro. Like, why are you guys like protesting and not saving money, bro? Like,
it's like when you're on the basketball court and like there's 10 seconds left and the team is already up 10 and you just kind of like throw the ball into the bleachers before the clock goes down because you already going to lose. They just like hold the ball, you just like throw it or throw it in the air.
Throw it. Bro, you are so right, bro.
It's just like F it. Like, what's the point? We're gonna lose anyway.
We go lose. But then sometimes you hit that shit, bro.
Is it fine now?
Oh hell yeah, bro! Welcome.
Okay, what's up?
I don't know what Discord is gonna do with that leaving and coming back shit, but we'll see what happens.
You know what you should do too when you record it? Like use an external audio app too.
I know, yeah. I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, we have no idea what we're doing technology.
You're talking about like an OBS, right?
Yeah.
I need to learn how to use OBS.
Well, even like VLC, blah blah blah.
Eventually, we'll pay someone to do all this.
Yeah. So we're looking for interns. I do have, we
are.
We have, a little weekly pay available for any interns that want to come help us record. All right.
You really have to know your shit, though.
Yeah, you have to help us. You can't fuck around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you help us, and then we'll
link in the description.
All right, we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it now. It's been an hour. Or wait, let's call it. And where can people find you if you want to plug yourself?
Twitter. Well, let's just go to Instagram.com. he_Valencia, and from there you can find my other page, moma ps5. moma.ps5. You'll see it.
Oh, we didn't even talk much, but I want to hear more about the DJing part of your practice too. Like me and Tony had this debate whether like you consider yourself primarily a musician or a cultural critic.
I definitely music first, like techno first and foremost, because this is what happened. Like that project, it kind of came out of necessity or by accident, because like basically like a lot of stuff I talk about on there in terms of culture, like I would talk about it on techno Twitter and get like so much blowback because like a lot of people in techno, they essentially just like rad libs. They're
all of the arts universal,
all anything art related.
So like in some ways, just kind of having them takes, it like got me like socially ostracized, and like it would cause like so many, they like, yo, like half of techno I'm like literally like beefing with, like they don't like me. Yeah, and so it kind of like made me like this weird, like the devil of anti-Twitter, of techno Twitter. So I was just like, okay, let me just, and then my account, it got banned. So I was like, okay, well, let
What
me
the
go to Instagram. And it just kind of like went from there, really. But yeah, I would just say like primarily musician, DJ first, and then everything else. But I guess the Instagram, it blew up. So hey, I don't know.
grifting? We are grifting so that we can get our music shit.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It's funny because people in techno, they now slowly catching up. Like a lot of stuff that I said like a year or two ago that caused like beefs with people, I'm starting to see like people make similar takes. So I guess it's hard being a prophet, pretty much.
Amen, dude. That's what we're doing. We're literally just looking at we're looking at people and like calling it. That's all prophecy is. I don't know. It's not that
Yeah.
complicated. It's not that deep, nigga. Just pay the fuck attention and you can see that shit and then write it down. Share it with
It's because
somebody who
niggas
gets it.
yell too much. Ain't nobody's listening. Everybody's just like yelling. Oppression Olympics. I'm just like, everybody can't get
Screaming
a gold
match.
medal. I'm sorry. Like, just stop. Like,
Bro.
I don't want a gold medal for being oppressed. Like, this is weird, you know?
Oh, I seek salvation.
Here's your little gold medal, everyone, for being oppressed.
From like
Like, is
white
that just not
bros.
the weirdest shit in the world? And it's just like the condescendingness of it all is super weird too. I've always felt.
It's patronizing because like the way you're selling yourself the lowest part of yourself. Well, or of what society views as low. It's very like, it's almost objectifying yourself in a way. Like people, they always complain about women being objectified sexually, and I'm just like, in some ways with like the woke stuff, with your identity, like you're objectifying, you're selling yourself to the highest bidder and to appease their like oppression
Yeah,
scale
bro.
to
And
like
like
a white liberal.
the second you like state that simply and like you just bring up that like weird like contradiction, people bot out and they like glitch out and they're like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm a woman. They're like, yo, what the fuck? Like my vagina is like bleeding once a month, bro. Like, are you seriously trying to? And I'm like, okay, bro. Like, good fucking luck with that, dude. I'm like,
Somebody
dude.
sent me a message an hour ago. They were just like, they was like, so are you going to tell me that you won't be sad, that you won't be happy when Kanye dies? I'm like, no, why would I? I'm like, he's a genius. He's cool. Like, I'm like, your ideology doesn't make sense. Like, why are you asking me this question? It literally doesn't make sense at all.
Bro, we gotta put these. Also, we gotta put these people on blast. I'm fully about like, if this platform is for shaming
Oh, for
primarily.
sure. Yeah. I'll put the blast. Faith. Yeah, you the main one. You always checking my page. I know you're gonna check this now. You're not gonna run up on me like you talk too much. Like you're stupid. Who else? Anwar. I don't even know if they're still online anymore. They probably like took themselves off a grid and live on some like anarchist commune in Denver or something. Who else? I'm
Oh
trying to
my
think.
god,
But
bro.
definitely like Faith. Yeah, like get off my tip, yo, for real.
Give me 50 feet, dog. Give me some social distance, nigga. Like, why are you so, bro? That's beautiful. It's beautiful that people care enough about you to like really keep tabs. I think.
Yeah. It's a sign. You always
That's
have
how
to
you know
become
you're
a
doing something
villain.
right.
Yeah, you could always become like they said, like at a certain point in life, you'll become a villain in someone's storyline. I guess that came sooner for me. So hey,
I
it
always
is
love
what
the
it is.
villain. The villain is always the like most like the complicated but the deepest character. Like that's where all the lessons are. Without the
Yeah.
villain, you don't learn
Well, even
anything.
like the anti-heroes, because like people, they
Exactly.
always, to me, like the anti-heroes are the smartest because they're not necessarily a villain or a hero, but they do was necessary without like kind of ascribing to all these like rigid codes, like the nitty gritty dirty work.
They react to what is happening in the moment, you know.
Yeah.
with good intentions, with humanity in mind. Like that's why I fuck with that MOBA reactionary shit. So
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna plug that a couple more times in case you
He's
listeners.
like a stoic. He's to me,
It's
yeah.
deep, bro. It's deep. He's also like talking about the abstract ideas, and like that's important. Like
And
he's like a
there's a
scientific
whole
approach.
part. There's a whole part of the left that like studies that stuff, but they're still explicitly leftist. Like the accelerationists and
Yes,
whatnot. Yeah.
we need to
I,
we need to get into the accelerationist shit, bro.
yeah.
We're
Maybe we
like,
could do. Yeah, I forgot his
Do a
name,
reading
but
series on it.
yeah, there's like the Xenogothic guy. He's like this British dude from London. He's like a leftist accelerationist. He like follows Modebug, Nick Land, all that. And then you have like Code 9 from Hyperdub. He's one. Of course, like the people like Mark Fisher and
right.
all that.
I think
I
Mark
wouldn't.
Fisher was a student of Nick Land's at one point.
Yeah, they were all in the same academic program in the
Yeah,
University
like
of
the
Warwick.
cybernetics cultural studies or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Cold War Ishun. I believe Nina Power might be loosely associated with them. Um, the woman who created like xenofeminism.
Right, right. I
Um,
really fuck with that shit too. That shit's some beautiful. Like I like it as a fan. Like I'm a fucking I'm like
yeah,
it's a fandom. Like
it makes sense. It reminds me of just like reading cyberpunk stuff.
exactly, bro.
That theory fiction is what they call it.
It's fucking
Yeah,
beautiful.
I wish more people was aware of that stuff.
Oh,
I don't know.
have you checked out any of the Jordan Peele Lovecraft HBO shit?
Yeah. I seen all the 3 episodes so far.
It's kind of cringe, isn't it? Like what the fuck is going
I seen everyone hates it.
Yeah, there's some moments where I'm just like, I prefer the historical realness of it as opposed to the fantasy stuff. Like I like when they were doing the sundown
Right, the
towns of
sundown shit was intense, bro.
yeah
I
with
was
Jim
like,
Crow era, and they had like the Green Book and all that. I was like, damn, they was really had to like niggas was really having to go through that back then. That's crazy to me. Like
you could even take a leak out there, bro. You had to hold that shit. That's real domination. That's some Foucaultian like sex
Nah, but you know what's
domination.
real is Menace to Society. I just rewatched that last night.
oh yeah,
Amazing movie. That shit is actually pretty. And then it's like, what was also crazy is they put like the Watts riots and like 1960s riots in the beginning of the movie.
damn.
They contrasted that with like the 1990s shit going
That's crazy
on.
because that was and in the '90s. That was when they had the Korea town riots, right? With
Oh,
the
yeah.
Koreans and then Rodney King, all that. Yo, LA was crazy in the night. I never really. I mean,
LA stays crazy, bro. That's why I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
man. Black
I
Panthers.
didn't realize like how crazy it was until the first time I went, and then I had to get a rental car, and then my friend we had to get the rental car. It was in Crenshaw. And I was like, dang, like this is like really the hood. Like you start seeing bars on people's windows. And then I remember when I left LA, you have to go through Compton to get to LAX. And like when I was in the Uber, you could just see the neighborhoods getting like progressively dustier as you get closer to the airport. I was like, man, this is like really the hood in LA. It's crazy. California is a weird place.
dude, I see them fucking protesting, and I'm like, I'm so disappointed in my own city, bro. Like we're not doing
Yeah.
shit. Like, the Miami is a fucking joke, bro. Fuck this place that I'm at, bro.
I would be
Because
scared
like
to even go out there. Like Florida, everybody got guns and
yeah, that's the thing. Like we are so deep in this fucking backward. Like several Trump signs have gone up around my house, and like as I was driving home today, like I saw like a group of beautiful black mixed race children playing outside with like a ball, and they're chasing their dog down the street, and like just with a backdrop of Trump signs and Trump flags. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Like, what? This is my.
I mean, there's
like,
probably hella black Trump voters in Florida.
but that's the thing. It's not at the black houses. It's like a stark contrast. It's like it's where the lines are actually like starkly different. Where it's like white Trump voter, black just like apolitical. Just
or in
basically,
some ways
yeah.
you can see how maybe the lines are blurred because like
right.
how you like okay you say you saw like mixed kids and in the background sign the sign of like an authoritarian leader like What's different than that than a place like Brazil with like
That's what I'm
Bolsonaro?
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and like how people they think that solving racism or just combating racism would necessarily like stop like broader things like class inequality, like income inequality.
Imperialism, fucking
Yeah, because you still have to like help lower class people. Because I mean, like if you look at Brazil, was it like 70% black? But I'm like, it's so much. There's not even a middle class in Brazil. It's just poor or rich, and then like it's literally just people fighting the police there. Like, and the police force is so corrupt. And then you got the leader Bolsonaro. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's weird seeing that with like a brown face. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
This is like a futuristic kind of dystopia.
That's what fucking triggers me with Kamala. Like that's like
Yeah.
our version. That's like our Caribbean fucking Latinx fucking perversion. Fucking
You can see that in
psycho
New York
Oh,
City.
you know Kamala's
too,
dad's a Marxist.
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying, bro. Like, what's up?
And you know
Kamala's
he
father?
disavowed, like he does not fuck with his daughter.
We need to get Kamala's
Wow.
father on the podcast.
Yeah,
and talk
get
about his
Kamala's
daughter.
dad on the podcast. Yeah.
If what you call it could get Steve Bannon on their show, you probably could get what
I'm
you call it.
saying, let's get the black fathers on here. Like, why are we talking to white fathers? Why are we
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to Bannon and Peterson when there's a bunch of black fathers that are like disappointed in their daughters?
That's crazy that he disavowed her. I never knew that.
Yeah, because she came on to the fucking breakfast show and was like, "Oh yeah, I smoke weed. You know, I'm like, I'm a fucking I'm Jamaican or whatever." And then he was like furious about it.
He was like,
like
"Are
you're
you
gonna
kidding
fucking
me?"
equivalate like weed and like that silly kind of cultural thing with Jamaica.
Yeah, just to kind of, it's like to pander to black voters.
The last thing that we have to talk about before we wrap this up is the fucking "Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay" guy. This fucking
what
story.
was that about?
Bro,
Silent Toe is his name.
I'm losing my mind.
Anal prolapse, like that. I couldn't tell if I was on 4chan or Twitter.
Bro, how did
people were posting this photo? It's like 8chan or something. I'm like, so we just doing this now, like lively on Twitter? Like, where's people's morals at?
It's the weakest link shit, bro. There's a direct line from this weakest link shit to this anal prolapse, bro. That's what people want. They want your ass prolapsed in public. That's what this ends. That's what dude, and like
I don't even know what the story is really.
Oh my god, dude. Okay. Oh fuck.
Didn't he try to murder somebody with a hatchet?
You saw the headline right on my Instagram?
Yeah. Who tries to murder somebody with a hatchet? You could just like.
I seen the hatchet.
Do people not use firearms anymore these days?
Nigga, that's what I'm saying. We're regressing to like. There's also like
the
this nostalgia. There's this layer of nostalgia capitalism and like the regression of like how we do things, and then it's all documented on technology. So like, that's how you know it's futuristic. But it's like that's how you know it's like, bro. There's like so many layers to this shit, bro. It's so deep.
Yeah.
But anyway, Tony. So the gentleman by the name of Silentio or some shit, Silento.
Silento.
He made the song "Watch Me Whip."
Yeah. Classic.
I'm not sure. I don't have the sequence of events.
Watch Me Whip.
But apparently, he was angry at his girlfriend, and he was looking for her. He was looking for her with a hatchet, and with the intent to kill her, clearly. But he went to the wrong place and like attacked two strangers. That's the story.
What's to do with the prolapse anus?
So the second part of this news is that his nudes leaked on Twitter. His full nudes leaked on Twitter.
Okay, so he's been on some kind of crazy drug ever since he's been famous.
No,
off this huge
I mean,
one-hit wonder song.
You don't have to be
I'm trying to figure out, like, why would you
nudes
do that? What is this dude doing in his private life to where he like
he's running around with hatchets?
No, not the hat. I'm like, why does this photo exist?
Listen, people are allowed. Listen, people are allowed to document whatever the fuck they want. Like, I've documented some fucked up shit in my life.
I thought you said he had a prolapse anus.
But that's listen, and he's allowed to have that. You know what I'm saying? And he's allowed to document it. But when you get to the point where your
Oh
interpersonal
god,
relationship
that's
is
fucking
so
right.
corrupted that it gets
Yeah.
leaked. That's where you're in like that's totally different than like taking the picture in the first place. There's totally healthy and like compassionate people prolapsing their ass and like taking pictures of it. Like let them do that,
Okay.
bro.
Yeah.
We don't have to shame them, bro.
I'm not shaming. I'm just okay.
Like we
I'm
don't even
sorry.
have to question what they're doing. We get it, bro. Take a picture of that shit. But like, what are you doing, Salento? That you're like
Yeah.
chasing people down with a hatchet? Like that's so different. And like that's what I'm like. I feel bad for the prolapse community because this puts a whole bad name.
Oh, now I see. Okay.
Stigma, as they say.
It's like
Prolapse
it's like
stigma.
weed smokers. It's like, oh, he did something crazy and he also happened to be high on weed.
Imagine
like-
if Wiz Khalifa did that, then this the stigma.
Like, yeah, I need every rapper that they ask prolapse to come out right now and destigmatize.
In support of
Why?
Silent Toe.